What's up, YouTube? This video is about the truth about YouTube finance. I think this is one of the more impactful videos I'll ever make. I hope that this whole video cures the disease of brokenness that plagues YouTube. Bear with me on the robe and the setup. We're actually in Colombia this week. Colombia for 10 days. Guys, this is probably a $75,000 trip for me. The whole environment is surreal. I'm not all fired up right now because we're up in the hills. I'll throw some B-roll, some drone footage up of this. The infinity pool overlooking the countryside, the mountains, brought the whole family. We roll around like a motherfucking football team. You know what I mean? The private jet, the 2 cars everywhere we go. And I share all that with you because I want to make it very obvious. I understand wealth. In analyzing all the YouTube content out there, I realized that no one's really teaching you guys wealth. There's all this make money online bull. So I need to start this off with a story. And I'm pretty good at getting to meet who I need to meet. And so I've met some of the top YouTubers. I'm not going to put his name out there. We get to talking one day and he makes all these videos on side hustles, right? It's like side hustle after side hustle after side hustle. And so we get talking one day, and I'm talking to him about his video on dropshipping. I'm like, yo, do you actually, what's your experience been with this? He's like, oh, I don't actually dropship. I just make videos on it. And it's kind of, I was like, oh, really? It's kind of misleading, right? Because it looks like he's like a dropshipping expert, but then also you'd think he's like a, Amazon wholesale expert. And before, he's got video after video on the side hustles you should be doing. And that's when it hit me. YouTubers make YouTube content because they get paid making YouTube content, right? That is their business. Their business isn't the side hustles. Their business isn't wealth. Their business isn't money. They get paid based on their views. So they try to make things interesting for you. And so it's created this delusion out there, this mass delusion, because everyone just copies the leader and everyone's talking about the side hustles and the ways to make passive income online and the way to get rich online. And so it's created this whole up scenario, and where all these little kids out there are thinking that someone is going to teach them the step-by-step way to get rich.
I've got 4 side hustles that no one is talking about that can earn you as much as $900 or more per day with basically
quick, easy, and lazy ways to make money.
I want to put together a list of 17 side hustles you can start today with just a laptop.
Please, sir, just show me the step-by-step way to make money online. Who can blame them, right? But again, if you zoom out and it's like, what are we really trying to do here? All this comes full circle, and I realize I need to be the voice of reason for you guys. Future generations will look at social media how the generations before us looked at cigarettes. It's this toxic, corrosive poison that has instilled this mentality of money in a bank account equating to wealth. The real world doesn't work like that. Having been around several multi-billionaires, high finance elites, you start to appreciate that principles are what you should be focused on. Not step by step, but principles. Why do you think Ray Dalio, 20 billion, net worth hedge fund superstar, wrote a book called Principles? Principles for decision making, principles for getting wealthy. That is the basis of this. So in this video, I want to share 3 things. 1, 2, 3, because that's how YouTube digests information on how to not get rich, the fastest ways to not get rich, and then I'm going to share 5 timeless principles for building real wealth. That is what you should be focused on doing. Now, you see, guys, it's a lot easier to get in shape than it is to get rich, and for some reason on social media, those 2 ideas have blended, right? If you want to get in shape, if you want to lose weight, if you want a six-pack, train heavy, calorie deficit, the science is pretty settled. Now, on the wealth side, there's not a step-by-step way to do it, period. There are so many different ways to get rich, just countless different opportunities to really make money. I've got a good friend in Puerto Rico, right? He makes $1 million a week doing restoration. He's all down the eastern seaboard, and his whole business, they just restore, damaged property. They come in and work with the insurance companies. He's got this robust infrastructure built out, a whole network of contractors. And he's clearing $1 million a month. He's got the Ferrari you guys all want. He's got the Richard Mille, he's living life. And yet he's not sitting on YouTube looking for the side hustles that are going to get him a Lambo. You know what I'm saying? So let's break right into these absolute rules. 3 ways you, YouTube consumers, are guaranteed to not get rich. Number 1, anything related to crypto, period. Guys, I'm a guy that bought Bitcoin very early on just because I understand the ideology behind Bitcoin. I think it makes sense in a world with increasing chaos. So the point of this video isn't to bash crypto. Well, I will bash crypto all day, but I'll never bash Bitcoin. Crypto has been one of the like faster get rich quick schemes, right? And a lot of people have lost a lot of money. Chances are, if you're like watching this type of material, anything crypto related, you are the product, my dude. You are the person getting money extracted out of you. NFTs, Shiba coin, whatever you guys want to call it, stay away from that. Number 2, literally any side hustle that everyone else is talking about. As you see more and more people talk about a side hustle, I hate to break it to you, it's not the next greatest thing. You're too late. And so someone might come to me, hey Rob, you're teaching Amazon FBA. And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm not teaching Amazon FBA. There was a time in history, 6-7 years ago, where you could show up on Amazon with any private label piece of crap out of China. You could throw it up on there and you could make money. And everyone who was doing it at the time, they were doing it. They weren't teaching it, okay? My whole current thing now, I teach people how to build a brand. Like, period. Just build a brand. Amazon is the thing I excel at. Ranking high on there, getting reviews, learning that algorithm, advertising. That's my springboard. I think it makes sense. But Amazon FBA in the blanket sense is a great example of a side hustle that is no longer viable, that is now being taught, right? And you're seeing this time and time again. Drop shipping's the best one. I know a lot of wealthy internet hustlers, straight up. I haven't met a single person that's made millions of dollars drop shipping. Not fucking one. So what does that need to tell you, right? Drop shipping's appealing because it's a very easy sell. You make a video, hey guys, I'm gonna show you how to make money with nothing, no inventory, no headache. This is how you do it. You just do this. It's a very easy sell. And so naturally you have a lot of finance gurus and all channels talking their and pitching it to you for the views. And last but not least, the third way, if you ever need to do something that is not able to be automated or something you can hire for, it's not going to make you wealthy. Just period. You're never going to get rich trading your time for money. And so we're going to expand on that now as I move to my 5 timeless principles for building real wealth. So number 1, keep your living expenses low. Living expenses low. This is hard for most people. They start making more money and they start spending more money. But real wealth is going to come from risk taking, and you're able to take more risks when you don't have the life overhead. You don't have the life baggage. You're not going to get to live the $70,000, 10-day trip without serious wealth, and that takes time. And so when I started my first company, I lived at home. I didn't want a mortgage. I didn't want to rent. I ate at Chipotle every freaking day. My life was simple. It was basic. And I just kept pouring everything back into the business. And that's what really, to get wealthy, you're going to need a business that performs asymmetrically compared to everything else. To find that, you need to be able to take bets. And to take bets, you need to have the means to actually take and be able to afford those bets, because shit doesn't always go right. Right? Like a business is more likely to fail than not. But the game is being able to take enough bets where eventually you find that upside that sets you free. So number 2, never borrow money unless it's to make you more money. I cannot stand seeing people go into debt in the name of looking good. High credit card bills, vehicles, right? The need to have that flashy car because you can support it. All of that is bullshit. Is guaranteed to not make you wealthy. You can take out debt when you want to buy a new property. If you need working capital for your business, if you're trying to expand, those are all good ways to take out debt. But I see way too many people take out bad debt, paying someone else's mortgage, paying someone else's living expenses. That's not the way to do it. Number 3, as your income increases, keep your living expenses the same. I talked about this earlier in number 1, but this is a point in and of itself. When you start to hit it out of the park with a successful win, you get a new service business, whatever it might be, it's really tempting to start creeping up your life expenses. Like I said, get the nicer car, start eating out more, going to the fancy dinners. And until you get to a place where you are making more money than you know what to do with without any time, then you need to keep your living expenses low. You can afford the fancy trip when you're making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a month, not doing anything. But otherwise, it's just a basic principle. You need to keep your living expenses low while your income continues to increase. And this is a trap that I see way too many people fall into. Number 4, this is probably my favorite. But as you're starting out on this journey, you need to understand this from the beginning, because it took me a long time too. You'll never get rich trading your time for money. You'll never get really rich trading your time for money. And when I say really rich, I mean wealthy, because if it's something that you need to do on an hourly basis, then it's never going to set you free. And so an interesting way to think about this, we're in Colombia, we're in Medellin, and prostitution's legal here. And so we're walking through the city, and it's like, you know, there's just way too many of these girls on the side of the street, and I want to go like break it down for them. I'm like, look, right now you have a fixed set hourly rate, right? That might be 100 on the high end, that might be 30 on the low end, but it's like, have you considered the internet? Have you considered digital scale? Might I tell you about OnlyFans? And this is right after I hand her, you know, a Bible and try to help save her life, you know, in a good way. Just kidding. I'm not here to save anybody. But you get the point, right? To have that scalability where you're no longer confined to an hourly limit, that's really important. And that's how the ultra rich think. Number 5, the longer time horizon you are willing to take, the more wealthy you will likely be. All right. And that's being able to put dollars into things that appreciate. And that's really hard for people. You get money, you want to spend it, you want to have a good time, but the more you're willing to delay that gratification, the more you're guaranteeing your future wealth. And this is hard, but we know if you put $1 in an index fund today, it's going to be worth X in 5 years. It's going to be worth XX in 10 years. This is just the compounding nature of the reality that we exist in. And so too many people want to get rich now. They want to get rich today. But the truth is, you need to put your money to work for you, and you need to wait. Time is the greatest asset. So anyways, I hope this helps. I love this YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, whatever else. I'm going to keep figuring this thing out. I really like this idea of positively denting this younger generation. I think entrepreneurship makes the world go round. I think risk-taking makes the world go round. And so for everyone who's been supporting me, love you guys. Like, really. I'll keep riding for you. I'll keep delivering for you, and take you on my next trip with me too.